Good afternoon, everyone. Vegetable rationing across Europe due to recent floods, snow, frost, hurricane winds decimating vegetable agriculture production. Southern Spain, snow and ice, that's rare. Fields lie in waste, frozen. Any leafy vegetables. Fennel crop across Italy. Citrus crop, frozen like this, is going to drive prices later on at harvest. Spanish fields now flooded. We're going to have to move our food growing indoors during this grand solar minimum. But even last week, with the first reports of 40% losses extending up to 80% now, these prices doubling and tripling, causing a black market in vegetables, if you can believe that. It is time for mini Ice Age conversations. We need to start discussing mitigation measures, solutions, things that we all can do and start working together to get us through these next 15 years. I will keep information flowing to you that I do not put on the YouTube channel through this other medium. And as always, while you're watching, please remember to subscribe to the channel and pass this through your social media. With this weather event decimating vegetable production, with rationing now in play across Europe and in UK, where suppliers are now scurrying for sources around this planet to try to fill in the gaps, it's time for us to start mini Ice Age conversations. And when I say that, it's time to discuss truly what's happening, because if this is one of the effects already in the first year of this grand solar minimum, what's it going to be like when the intense cold comes in about 5 years? If you can please do me a favor, jump over onto iTunes, subscribe to the new podcast. You can rate, review, and like it. This will be my second medium to put out more information more quickly. These YouTube videos take me quite a bit of time to produce. With the podcast, I can cover 4 or 5 videos of information in a single 30 minutes. And if you haven't seen this in the news, it's really going to make you shake your head and say, what is going on? Extreme weather drives up European produce prices. That's an understatement. It's gone to the point where there's no vegetables really coming out of Europe. What people have, they're stockpiling, they're not selling. Restrictions of a certain amount of veggies that you can buy, if you can even find it. All of the leafy vegetables, broccoli, iceberg lettuce, tomatoes, all of these in the UK, at least through Tesco, which is a huge supplier, are out of stock. And again, it's local supermarkets, it's larger retailers, it's wholesalers like Tesco. And back on the 17th, they were very sure that they could find a secondary supply, and all of this lost production coming out of Spain and Italy could easily be substituted. Well, now that the prices are quadrupling and they really get a gauge of how much frost has destroyed the vegetable production and the citrus production out of Europe, it's coming to the point where people are stealing pallets of zucchinis and cucumbers. Empty store shelves again and again. The initial reports a couple of weeks ago were a 40% loss, and these drove up prices at least double. Now they've started a black market for vegetables. The newest estimates coming in are pushing it at around 80% plus. Belgium tomato prices are skyrocketing, at least doubling, if not tripling, what they were just 2 weeks ago. And the blame is on Spain. Ooh, Spain, you're not producing enough vegetables. Well, the UK, you're relying on all of these imports. And even if they can get it, it's still limited to 3. But how do they just push it all off on Spain? Ooh, the only reason we don't have vegetables is Spain. No, the only reason you don't have vegetables is because the mini Ice Age is intensifying. And this is one of the effects. Lost crop production, which happened exactly in the modern minimum. Go back and study your own European history on what happened in the 1600s. The new profiteering, hoping to sell to hotels $50 for this box of lettuce. And now it's coming down to people in France, Germany, or wherever. You can only get it if you have the money to get it. The entire fennel harvest is gone. Celery and other crops at least 50%. Zucchini, squash, these types of things, minimum 60%. And the fields haven't even unthawed yet. This is what they're guessing under the snow and ice. More empty shelves across the UK. More rationing, double pricing, triple pricing. Netherlands, prices going through the roof. And I love it again. These signs just keep saying, oh, it's because of flooding in Spain and bad weather in Europe. No, it's because these once in a 200-year ice storms and hurricane force winds and all-time record snows are dumping on our crops. Tesco, difficult time to even find anything. Then we look at the conditions in Spain. This is the warmest spot in Spain right now. Now traders are looking down into Morocco and Tunisia, and they're trying to get the EU to change import quotas so they can get vegetables in. They were looking at Turkey, but Turkey just got crushed. They're raising their prices as well for everything. And when I say crushed, this is what's left in the fields. They are frozen. They were hail damaged. They were rain damaged. They were hurricane force wind damaged. And then it froze. And this is taking iceberg lettuce to a new level here. This is leafy vegetable production in Europe and across the entire Mediterranean. Fennel crop, nice. Citrus, lettuce, olives, all going to be rising in price this year due to losses. Looking at the citrus growers here, ice on the trees, snow on the trees, that's a lost crop. And then it snowed again. And there's more snow forecast this week. And the greenhouses are collapsing. So if there were vegetables growing under the greenhouses, they are wiped out. Now there's heavy snow across Spain, all the way down to Morocco. Broccoli, frozen in the fields. Any types of spinach, lettuces, gone. They're rushing to try to bring the broccoli harvest inside. It's too late. That's a wasted crop. These low temperatures, even though it may last just for a week or two, you see the damage it does. And the bottom sentence here, there'll only be possible to make an assessment once the situation improves and the snow melts off. They still don't even know what the losses are. They're just throwing wild numbers out there not to panic people. Vineyards are affected, more greenhouses, just field after field, and now it's raining. So now it's flooding in the same fields that were frozen. So they went from cold to wet. In the grand solar minimum, we're going to need to bring our vegetable production indoors. This is where it's going to go. You see on the left picture what's happening with the outdoor production. There is an enormous opportunity for polyfilm and anybody constructing greenhouses right now. And not only that, North America battered with extreme cold through this winter, now affecting vegetable production out of Mexico. Now U.S. retailers are looking down at the Dominican Republic and Honduras to make up for lost Mexican production. Oh, did I forget to say that Kenya food prices rose almost 13%? How's the average person in Kenya going to afford these price rises? And then Bill Nye, perhaps the U.S. should stick with the Paris Agreement. Oui? Bill Nye, no. And Bill Nye, why don't you ask yourself, why is it so darn cold? And why did Europe just lose all of its vegetable production when it was predicted in the grand solar minimum to intensify to this point? Why are you burying your head in the sand? Why is all the media burying its head in the sand? I have started many Ice Age Conversations podcasts to address these issues. It's not being talked about enough. I need different platforms to get this message out. Please subscribe to this new podcast, like it, review it, rate it, and push this right up into the new and noteworthy. We need to discuss this right now. We are out of time. I could bring you more information and more guests on this platform in an audio format than chasing down all the images. It's a much faster medium to convey information. I will bring a 30-minute podcast once a week, and I am loading 5 more today from previous interviews I had with my guests. Thank you for watching. Hope you got something out of the video. And please take a moment to jump over to getthetea.com. With all these vegetable losses, what is your secondary backup source? Do you have a plan B? Moringa, a superfood used for thousands of years for nutrition, antioxidants, and supporting your immune system. Olive leaf as well. Immune system booster been used for thousands of years. Think about these natural remedies. In the grand solar minimum, your medicine that you get from the store is going to be limited as this just-in-time delivery system starts to break down when our credit freezes up. These farmers have lost everything this year. They are bankrupt. There is going to be no credit. If it is, it will be an emergency fund from a government to refund them so they can get new seeds and plant again. What are they going to do? They lost their income for the year. This just-in-time delivery, I'm interested to see what happens with this conundrum right here. How are they going to switch supplies? I mean, there's already losses in North America and Europe and Tunisia and Morocco and Turkey, and where are they going to get vegetables? There's really no other place to substitute. We're going to have to change laws for import tariffs and import quotas, and all these things need to happen. This is it. It's here. You got 2 years left to prepare, and watch for next year. If it happens again as such in Europe, it's going into a modern minimum type event, and, well, our societies are definitely going to change. You need to have a plan B.